Hello, welcome back to the homestead. This morning we butchered chickens, so this afternoon / evening we are processing those chickens. So far I have got the breasts separated over here. We've got legs and thighs and wings separated over here. We're saving all of the backbones here because we're going to use those to make broth. But what we're going to do first is we're going to separate all of these, and I'm going to take the skin off of the legs and thighs because we are going to can those. Alright, we got our chicken all ready to go into the jars. I removed all of the skins because once the skin is canned, it is just mushy and gross. It just has a gross texture. So I'm going to use that in the broth. But we've got our jars here ready to go, and we're just going to raw pack this today, which just means that we are going to take our chicken and put it into our jars raw, and we're not going to add any liquid. We want to have 1.25 inches of space, of head space. And so I'm going to get these packed and then I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, I got my jars filled as much as I could. And I mixed legs and thighs together, but then I also put some chicken breasts in there as well. So we're gonna have to process these quarts for 90 minutes instead of 75, just because it has boneless chicken in it as well. So I am gonna go ahead and wipe the rims of these because, as you can see, there's little bits of chicken grease and stuff. I'm gonna wipe the rims with some vinegar, and then we're gonna put our seals on and get them placed in the canner. Alright, we got our jars in the canner. The lid is on. I've got my temperature setting to high. We're going to get this heating up until our vent here is blowing steam. Alright, our pressure canner is venting steam, so we're going to set our timer for 10 minutes. And after the 10 minutes, we're going to go ahead and put our weight on. Alright, our canner has been venting for 10 minutes. Our alarm just went off, so we can go ahead and add our weight. Now, normally you would process chicken at 10 pounds of pressure for 75 minutes for bone in and 90 minutes for boneless, but we're at a little bit higher of a elevation, so we're going to process ours at 15 pounds of pressure. So we go ahead and we put the weight on there, and now we're just going to let that come up to pressure. Once it has reached pressure, the weight will start to knock back and forth gently, and I'll show you guys that once it reaches that stage. Alright, our canner has got to the point where it is gently rocking back and forth, so this means it is up to the pressure that it needs to be. So we're going to go ahead and set the timer for 90 minutes because I did mix bone-in chicken with boneless chicken, and so we need to do it for the max time, which is 90 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer and I'll let you guys see what it looks like when it's all done. The alarm just went off. It's been 1 hour and 30 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and remove our canner from the heat and let the pressure come down. The canner is done, so let's take the lid off and pull the chicken out to cool down. Look at that. Now we're going to let these sit and cool for 24 hours before we test our seals to make sure that everything has sealed properly, and we'll do that tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. Alright, so I am cleaning out our chicken gizzards here from the chickens we recently processed, and I want to show you guys how we do that. So this is the gizzard here, and the first thing we do is we refrigerate them for 24 hours before we even start cleaning them because it makes pulling out the inside a lot easier. So then we just make a slit down the side of the gizzard here. And then we're just gonna start pulling it open. And you can see the inside part is coming detached. We're gonna just pull that all the way out. And there we go.